You're listening to America's Diesel Podcast.
You have to do the intro.
I have to do the intro?
Yep.
Oh.
Take it away, Cory.
Cory's doing the intro. Go!
I thought we were talking the concept truck first.
Yeah, but you have to do the intro before that.
Usually we have like a nice little intro before the intro.
This is it right now. Yeah. And now you do the intro, Cory.
This is dumb.
Listen, this is how it is, all right?
It's going to get a lot worse before it gets worse. Just do the intro.
This week's podcast episode is brought to you by Fuel Bomb Diesel Additive, an additive designed for diesel enthusiasts, made by diesel enthusiasts. Ben, take it away.
Hell yeah, dude. So this is our in-house Fuel Bomb fuel additive for your diesel truck. Our biggest thing here is making sure that you can pretty much always have diesel additive on you all the time. You've got a lot of other additives out on the market that they have, anti-gel in there all the time. They have cetane in there all the time. They end up being big and bulky bottles. Our standard everyday diesel fuel additive is 1 ounce per 32 gallons, and that's its main job is to make sure that your fuel system stays lubricated and prevents the formation of algae. And it should also help you in colder climates too.
Should definitely help you in colder climates. Along with cleaning your fuel system and maintaining it, it'll also help you bump that cetane number up for a more efficient burn of your diesel fuel. And if cetane is just what you're after, there's the Fuel Bomb Hellfire, which is our straight 8+ cetane enhancer.
Yeah, and you guys asked, and we brought them back. We did go away from the bottles that didn't have the measuring little parts in there. We brought them back for you, so now you can measure out your 1 ounce per 32 gallons for the F-Bomb or 4 ounces per 32 gallons for the Hellfire.
Both these additives are available on our website, dieselpowerproducts.com. Now let's get back to that episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Yeah, radio voice.
Welcome to America's Diesel Podcast. I don't need to tell you where you can find us because you're already fucking listening. Tyler, give them the fucking reviews.
Nope. Nope.
Reviews. We ain't got stickers yet. Figure it out. Love you.
If you were placing an order. Oh, Jesus. If you're placing an order at dieselpowerproducts.com, make sure you put podcasts in that little fucking line that you can barely see.
That everybody always misses, and then you guys message me about it. It's okay. I know it's there.
We know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Can't do anything about it.
Let's hear about this concept truck.
All right.
Yeah.
So pull it up. Go to, I think it's called the T-Rex. 1997.
Is it truck?
Yes.
The Dodge T-Rex.
Yes.
Oh, the 6-wheel.
Hennessy, eat your heart out. Like, okay, just bear with me for a second here. I think that would have actually been a really cool truck with a Cummins in it. Like, as far as for like hauling and shit, like, do you think that would be better than a dually?
No.
Why not?
Just instantly.
No, like, don't. Seriously. You got that weight kind of separated over a larger area in the back of the truck. That's how semi-trucks are. A bobtail semi-truck.
Yes, I understand.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't think it would be better than a dually? As far as for like towing purposes?
No.
Why not? Tell me why, Ben.
Without getting too technical on it, which I'm probably going to end up doing anyways, my first thing is, if it was that much better, they would have done it already.
No, I get it.
They would have done it now.
I know. Listen, turning radius probably sucks ass.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? There's probably a lot of things about this truck that probably suck ass.
Mileage probably blows. Like, really bad.
Maybe.
I guarantee you it does.
I'm going to snuff out your non-towing idea real quick.
Okay.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah. Okay. I see that, but also
that's a fucking tow truck.
But look how big it is and the drivetrain and everything that goes along with it.
Sure, but that is like a standard cab long bed essentially. Like, it doesn't look like the bed, the T-Rex. It doesn't look like the bed was extended at all. They just opened it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. But then you want to have the handling characteristics of basically one of those things. And turning radius is shit. And
these are all problems that I don't see as a problem in my head.
And also, I don't know what axles they're using. I don't know if that's a dummy axle in the back or if they're using
if it's a power axle.
If they both have power axles, I don't know what axles they're using on it. I don't know if they're still just using like a 10.5 or 11.5 inch ring gear on something like that. Because that's, granted, you have an extra axle out there to disperse the weight, but you're not doing anything else. And you'd be better off having a really big dual rear wheel axle in the back, in my opinion. Because the rest of the truck, the rest of the frame can't even hold what a dual axle in the back can.
Ben just pissing on my parade. I think it's a cool truck.
I agree with you.
I didn't say it wasn't cool. As far as like,
basically you alluded to that it's not. It's super stupid.
well, and the fact that it's got
Go back to that T-Rex. Let's look at. Let's just take a.
It's got an 8-liter V10. That's pretty badass.
I think that thing's cool. I think they should have built it.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. Like, do you know what? So I was listening to a podcast, Joe Rogan and Post Malone.
Yeah, he has
the
Raptor,
the Raptor 6x6, and he was like, Joe was like, how is it driving that thing? He's like, fucking sucks. he's like, I go to Applebee's and he goes to Applebee's. He's like, loves Applebee's.
It's Post Malone.
It's fucking Post Malone. Like, why you go to Applebee's, bro? Anyways, I like Applebee's. It's not bad. But he's like, dude, parking that thing. He's like, I feel so bad. He's like, I pull into a parking spot and it's like I stick out like this far from the parking space. So he's like, if it's like a little car, it like doesn't really matter. But if like you're trying to park to another truck with another truck, he's like, nah. He's like, I just feel like a dick. No, I think it's cool, man. Like for like a work truck, like fuck yeah. Set your company apart from the rest with a freaking Ram T-Rex. Get some graphics on there.
Aside from the fact that the nostalgia of it's cool, my 6-year-old in me that has Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars.
You just call me a 6-year-old.
Yeah,
I think
super
you did.
cool. But other than that, I see no functionality out of it. It wouldn't do anything better
Look at it off-roading
than a 1-ton with a dually rear axle.
So they're calling it a 6x6.
Yeah,
I would assume that those are both power axles.
I sure fucking hope so. Like if
those
you were,
with like a selectable locker. Okay, so like when you're driving around town, you need to turn and shit. You can, obviously unlock it.
Mm-hmm.
Turning radius would probably still suck.
Right.
But ooh.
If you were to make that rear axle steer axle, that would help out.
Ooh, there you go. Now we're thinking.
But
both of them.
So now if you were to tell me, I think that would be cool to have as like a cool recovery vehicle, like let's say Matt's Off-Road were to have one of those.
Yeah,
that's cool. I think that's pretty cool. But as far as like a work truck to tow with, stupid.
You're stupid.
I know. I know.
What are these people doing at my house?
So, while Tyler's looking up his Ring camera, we had an overwhelming amount of people in the Facebook group, which if you don't know, because of Cory's stellar intro, we do a Facebook group. It's America's Diesel Podcast - the group. There are 3 questions you got to answer to get in. But that is a really good direct line to me and Cory, not Tyler. He says on Facebook because he's scared of computers. But you guys want to hear more about Cory and basically everything that has to do with Cory. And one of them even said, like, we want Cory on the podcast. And you answered it before I could. And we were like, he's pretty much on every single one of them.
Yeah.
Ever since we got him a microphone, he's basically a 3rd member of the crew.
Right.
Like, what the fuck, guys? You just not listening?
No,
Did you not realize that's Cory? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But that being said, people want to know more about Cory.
Do you have a list?
No.
Oh, I was
So, and that we do have some questions that people want to ask, but I think first things first, just because a lot of people know my history, a lot of people know Tyler's history. You can make it a 2-minute version, a 5-minute version, a 10-minute version. How did you get to this point in your life?
That's actually a really, really weird journey.
Let's hear it. The people want to know.
So I did vehicle recovery in the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of like my introduction to like working on vehicles and problem solving, so to speak.
And you like 6x6 trucks, just like
Yep.
me.
I think they're cool. Okay.
Whatever, Ben.
And they work great as recovery vehicles
Absolutely.
and towing vehicles.
When you're recovering
Suck it.
something that needs to be towed. Yes.
Bitch. And I pretty much did that to get away from, where I grew up, which is San Bernardino, California.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, I requested to go to Japan. Somehow ended up in 29 Palms, which was an hour and a half away from where I grew up.
That worked out. I want to go to Japan. How's 29 Palms sound?
Nailed it.
We heard your request. You're going around the corner.
See, if you would have said you wanted to go to 29 Palms, they probably would have sent you to Japan.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who fucking knows? So I do that, and actually, it was a good thing because the people I met there got me into like off-roading and stuff. And we were literally around the corner from Johnson Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent a lot of time in Johnson Valley. So after I got out, I got medically separated, took an ID, screwed up my shoulder, and couldn't do pull-ups. So they said, bye-bye. And I said, okay, see ya.
Can you do you want to talk about can you tell us what actually what happened? Like you just say you got hit by IED. Like what was can you? You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I can.
Okay.
It's one of those weird stories, I guess.
I don't want to
You're good. You're
okay.
good.
Okay.
It's hard to say it without making it sound like I'm kidding, because looking back at it, it's crazy how close to death I actually was.
Yeah.
But we were taking barriers off of KBR trucks. KBR is a civilian contractor that would carry concrete barriers and all kinds of stuff. They made money out there too. Wow, fuck.
Yeah.
And so we were setting up a fob, and since my truck had a crane on it, they needed all the resources they could to get those walls off as quick as possible.
And where was this at?
This was Haklania. So it's by Haditha Dam in Iraq.
Oh, okay. Thank God you said Iraq. So I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're talking about Narnia? Is that where you...
Yeah, I just popped through a fucking closet, Tyler. So yeah, I offloaded a couple trucks. The third truck comes by, and I guess enough dirt had been moved from the tires of all the other trucks that it was enough to trigger a pressure plate with me outside running my crane. So essentially what happened is the blast happened, and next thing I know, I'm on the ground.
Oh shit.
And my shoulder's out of socket.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I kind of don't know what happened other than I woke up with my shoulder out of socket. So we popped it back into place, and I got taken back to base and looked over everything. And other than my shoulder being screwed up a little bit, I finished the rest of my tour and came back and jumped on a pull-up bar. And I guess I jumped on the pull-up bar the wrong way, and my shoulder just popped out again.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And at that point, anything, even just a little bit of arm swing would pop my shoulder out of place no matter how many times I popped it in.
Oh, wow.
So I went in, had surgery, had 5 pins, 3 anchors thrown in my shoulder. I was told I would probably only regain about 30% of my shoulder movement. So,
gotcha.
So lifting anything above my head is kind of a struggle.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's the story.
Damn.
Exciting, right?
Yeah.
Exhilarating.
Did someone else, was there other people that got hurt?
One dude took shrapnel. Here's the crazy thing.
So it's like a landmine basically?
It was 3 130 millimeter mortars.
Was it from Iraqis?
Yeah, it was essentially just an IED in the middle of this field that was supposed to be cleared.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Pressure plate IED to just...
Is that the ones where you see on movies where the guy steps on it and then he's like, I can't fucking move?
Similar, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's that fascinating side of things.
Oh, that's fascinating.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Well, I feel like you're lucky. It could have been a lot fucking worse.
Oh yeah, I agree.
If you're... how close are we talking?
I would say about less than a semi-trailer away.
Wow.
Yeah.
If your truck was in another spot or something, it could have been probably a lot fucking worse.
I'm pretty sure if I weren't on the other side of my truck, because we had controllers that we could use with the crane.
Yeah.
If I weren't there would probably be way more damage.
Yeah.
So it pretty much destroyed the cab of my truck, and
damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was pissed too because I had just bought a camera and it had just arrived.
Oh, really?
And it was in the cab and just destroyed.
No shit.
Yeah.
God damn, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you made it, and I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. Well, but after I got out, I had to figure out what I wanted to do, and I was pretty big into Jeeps and stuff.
Yeah.
So I decided I was going to go to UTI, get some formal training and stuff. Got out of there, went and worked at a couple diesel shops. Went through the diesel program at UTI and everything. From there, got out. The first place I worked, we were doing oil changes in the dirt. And when I say in the dirt, like the owner was like a Romanian dude and just didn't care about like OSHA. So like anything that spilled, he didn't give a shit about.
Yeah.
I was like, this probably isn't a place for me.
Sounds like you're at a chop shop.
Kind of. Yeah. There's a whole story behind that thing too, but for the sake of time, we won't go into that.
All right.
Then I worked at a very, very big trucking company, who I'm not going to name because they are dog shit.
Okay.
I would do probably 14-hour days, and the most they would do is 14 an hour.
Jesus. Were you doing like dispatch stuff or loading trucks or?
No, I was a mechanic.
Oh, a mechanic.
Yeah. I started like working on trailers, wheel seals, stuff like that. So not like easy work by any means.
Jesus, $14 an hour?
In Southern California.
Wow.
Mind you, it was like an hour and a half drive to get there because of Southern California traffic.
So you're like losing money working there basically?
Essentially, yeah. And it got to the point where my wife screwed up her back and had to go in for back surgery. So I was like, hey, I got to take time off so I could take care of my wife.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we need to have a serious talk about the time you're going to take off. So I walked in the next day and gave them my badge and said, here's our serious talk.
Yeah.
My wife and I crunched the numbers and found out that I could go to school and make more money than I was making there with all the overtime I was doing.
Jesus.
That's how shitty it was.
Now, when you had your accident in Iraq, were you with your wife already? No. This was before you were, okay.
Yeah, this was way before.
Gotcha.
So I didn't meet her until after I had my shoulder surgery.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, so we crunched numbers, and it just financially it just didn't make sense with all the fuel we were wasting to get to work, and you know the shitty work environment and everything. It was just like, no, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So I went back to school, and this is something I don't think either of you know. My degree at that time was water treatment.
Water treatment.
Yeah.
All right.
So I went back to school for water treatment. Which then got me into wanting to like brew beer and stuff because the processes are very similar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went into water treatment. Before moving up here, I had actually taken the test and I was distribution 1 and treatment 1 certified in California. And then we decided, fuck California, let's move.
Yeah.
And now I'm up here. Up here, because of shitty school standards and non-standardized like credits, I pretty much had to start from scratch. So I was like, well, water treatment isn't going to be as beneficial up here as it is in Southern California. In Southern California, I was thinking, we're in a drought.
Yeah.
This is a good skill to know, and it's going to pay well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas up here, it's like, okay, I think now I have like the freedom to like do what I want.
They should have sent you to Flint, Michigan.
Right? That would have been great.
That was one the stark difference from how people view water here compared to how people view water in California.
Yeah.
I used to send my friends pictures of like after winter when the trucks drive by just to spray off the sidewalk with water. I'd send them those pictures and I'm like, and the lid wouldn't even
the
be
water is endless here.
Yeah, the tanker in the back wouldn't even have the lid on. They'd be bouncing down the street, water be splashing out the top, and they're just squirting out the side. And, and I'd send them a video. They're like, the fuck is that? Like, it's water. They're just
amazing.
What are they doing? Is there a fire? Like, no, they're just spraying off the sidewalk. Why? Because it's dirty.
It's dirty, dude.
Since you mentioned that, the last time I was at the casino, they were like working on the place, right? They had a water truck sitting there. Nobody's there working the whole weekend. Nobody's there working. Water is just pouring out of this water truck. Like, by the time they get to work, the thing's fucking empty. So it's like they filled up this water truck and just left it there. It's just fucking pouring out, making a puddle. Like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah, it's great. But we're on one of the biggest aquifers.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I just realized like it wasn't as important up here as it would have been down there. So that's when I got into doing like photography and video and everything like that. Worked as an assistant for a commercial photographer up here that's been in the trade for well over 40 years. Learned a lot from him, and COVID hit, and I got laid off because obviously everyone was shut down, so there was nothing for us to take photos of.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was browsing because I was like, I had my Dodge at the time, and I was like, kind of want to do something to the Dodge to like personalize it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if it would be cheaper for me to just like buy new wheels or just powder coat these, you know?
Mhm.
I already knew the answer, but window shopping is always fun. Doesn't matter. And I just did a quick Google search on wheels for Ram 1500, and OPP showed up. And I was like, this place is pretty cool. And it's local. It's like, cool. And then like I was just scrolling around on the website, and I saw like the position for like jobs and stuff. And I was like, let's see what they have open. And then I saw like a listing for a photographer, videographer. And I was like, couldn't hurt. So I set up my resume and sent it in, and I'm sales manager.
That worked out.
Weird.
Yeah. So I want to know more about what made you get started into doing photography and like audio and like all this stuff that you do now. Like how did you come to that? Like, this is what I want to do now.
It all stemmed from photography. I would play, so I used to play in bands and stuff too. I used to do like metal screaming, and I played drums in a couple punk bands.
Can we get a little preview? Come on.
No.
Instantly, no.
Come on.
I haven't done that shit in years. I'd destroy it.
Yeah. You probably you take a deep breath in like you used to,
Right.
and then
You
you get about 0.5 seconds into it, and then your fucking throat would just
Yeah, I'd be done.
You know, it'd be hilarious if he did
you'd be
it.
coughing for like 45 minutes.
Especially after being on the phones all day. No.
Yeah.
No,
It'd
fuck
be-
you, Tyler.
It'd be funny if it'd be funny if you did it and like the sound that came out was like like I'd be like, wow, that is not, I did not expect that coming from those freaking chords, boy.
Did I say metal? I meant metal opera.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we would always pay like photographers to get like band shots of us like while we were playing,
Yeah.
and they were always shit. And I was like, I bet I could do something better. And I picked up a camera, and that's kind of where the whole photography thing stemmed from.
Okay. All right.
And then it all transitioned into video, because while I was getting my degree for photography, it kind of aligned. Like everybody saw like that dude actually likes to work.
Yeah.
And one of the instructors, I guess you could call them, I don't know if you'd call them instructors or teachers, one weekend just said, hey, we're doing a short film out at Williams Lake. We need people to help like with lighting and everything like that. Are you interested? And I was like, fuck yeah. And that's how I got into video.
Gotcha.
Doing all that video stuff, I learned about doing audio and everything else like that too. So
Yeah. Cool.
it's kind of my intro into this shit.
Yeah. Right on. All right.
I'm letting everybody know we're going to be a minute late on the live.
It's their
stage.
fucking fault.
Their fault.
Yeah.
They wanted this, okay? They can suffer.
Well, cool.
Yeah. So that's my photo video shit.
All right.
I got a pretty rad shot of the bus down in like Palouse Falls. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Mm-mm.
Let me find it. I'll show you.
All right. All right.
You wanted some visuals?
I did. I hope you had I was hoping you had a slideshow.
No, I don't have a slideshow. I'm not that fancy. I didn't have enough time to prep. Okay. Where the fuck's that bus at?
Do people still do slideshows? Is that a thing still?
I
Does
think
anybody
so.
know?
Wouldn't surprise me. Nothing
Oh,
there.
yeah, okay.
There you go.
It's a pretty cool picture.
Oh, dude. That's sick. That needs to be on a freaking poster, dude.
I typically sell them on metal prints.
Dude, that's badass.
Hell yeah.
That's really cool.
Thanks.
For those of you wondering, I think Cory has posted some of his work in the group before. I think.
Probably.
Yeah, or he posted a link to it.
Yeah, I don't have that site up anymore.
Okay.
Do you know what would be badass if I'm pretty sure this is a thing, but like a sign that has like lights, like little lights behind it, you know, to like because that would be sick to have on like a wall, like in a bar, and have like actually like have it like illuminating through, because that it looks fucking glow in the dark.
Well, on metal, it actually it looks sick on metal.
Dude, that's cool. I'd buy it.
Yeah.
Not today. I don't got no money.
That was actually the first like serious shot I took up here that sold. So
Really?
yeah.
What are you selling for?
It depends on size.
Like,
I've sold a 24 by 36 of it for $2,400.
$2,400.
Yeah, I know my value.
Holy fuck! God damn!
Yeah,
What the fuck you doing here?
I can do this on the side.
The fuck, bro? That's sick.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of photos that have sold for, a regular like 16 by 20 framed. I usually go for like $375.
Fuck yeah! Can you do my headshots?
I could. It'd be the sexiest fucking headshot you've ever had.
Fuck.
Okay, so we got what makes the man taken care of.
Okay.
A lot of people want to know, what does the man drive? How is his project? All sort of kind of stuff. And I think it's because one of our previous episodes that just came out, the day we're filming this is August 9th.
Right.
So the episode where we talked about supercharging your GMC
Fucking
recently
Mitch.
came out. Mitch, we blame you 100%.
Yep. You're a good influence.
Good influence, good person.
Yep.
Great beard.
Fantastic beard.
Bountiful ass.
Oh, I haven't looked there, so.
He was at Trucks and Coffee. Also, shout out to Deer Park Diesel. This weekend they had their first Trucks and Coffee. I made it out there with my son, and
Yeah, it was really good.
Tyler didn't make it. He was passed out. For some reason, Cory thought it was 11, but I managed to get there.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. It was cool to see everybody. Mitch was there. John Alford was there. John wants to come on the podcast. I think we're going to have a good transmission podcast coming up pretty soon. But it was a banger of a time. So shout out to Deer Park Diesel for putting that on and putting on a good event.
I'll be at the next one.
Yeah. So I feel like people want to know just more about this truck that you're thinking about supercharging. And I feel like you're in the same boat as I am, because we see the truck every day. No discredit.
Right.
It's not a lot going on with the truck.
No, there's not.
It's a it's a clean fucking truck. Don't get me wrong,
It's
but
clean like a 16.
hell yeah. But everybody's kind of getting the idea now that it's like some super built machine.
It's not.
And the beauty of it is the fact that it's not. It
really is not.
It does a really good job of what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it just looks nice.
Yeah.
It's a good grandpa truck.
It's super comfortable.
Very.
It's got remote start.
Yeah,
Good
remote
wheels and
start.
tires.
I can start it from like 5 miles away off my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing fancy with it. 2015 GMC 2500 HD with the 6.0. That's it. It's got Method 317 titaniums. I let the wife pick them.
Mm-hmm.
She did a fantastic job on that one.
Great choice.
And I threw a tonneau on it and a 10-inch flat sub, and that's it right now.
She did a great job with the wheels, because I got to tell you, online, I never would have picked those.
Same.
Yeah.
Never would have picked them.
Fucking same.
And even when they got here, I was like, that's a good looking wheel. But in the back of my head, I was kind of like, if he likes them, I like them.
Yeah.
And
They
then
look good on the truck.
Then I saw them mounted, and then on the truck, I was like, that's fucking hot.
Yeah.
That's a good wheel.
See, and like the dude that knows how to use Photoshop, like typically I would throw it in Photoshop first.
Mhm.
And I'd be like, well, that doesn't really fit. And I was like, nah, we're just going to wing it. So panned out. Worst case scenario, I didn't like them and I sell them.
Yeah.
I think they look great.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It's a good contrast to all the white.
Yeah,
And
is.
it's not black.
Right.
I was debating bronze, but everybody up here is running bronze. And it's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I wanted you to get bronze.
yeah.
I was in the bronze camp.
It was between those and bronze.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm happy with that choice.
Oh, they're great.
And the Yokohama Geolanders. I mean, those are a nice looking tire
A
too.
good aesthetic of a tire.
They look aggressive.
Yeah.
With being very like well road mannered as they are.
Yeah.
So
100%. Let's at least talk about trailer. So you recently picked up a trailer.
yeah. Just-
It's for hauling your four-wheeler.
yeah.
Not your four-wheeler, off-roader, your
Same
Forerunner.
shit.
Yeah, whatever. So as far as tie down points, someone asked about that. Are you doing like D rings? You got track on there or what?
It has D rings on them. I'm very leery of using D rings that are welded on. I don't know why. I've just never been like super comfortable using them.
Mm-hmm.
I just strap to the trailer. Yeah.
Have you thought about doing D rings on your axles?
Yeah, I've already got the straps. I'm good. Shout out to Max.
Yeah. The only reason I mention that is I probably haven't strapped down as many vehicles as a lot of other people that are listening, and maybe even you or Ty, I don't fucking know. But of the times that I have, one of the things that Cooper put on Grandma when we did the axles is he welded on a strap around, like a full welded strap with a D-ring on the bottom of the axle. So it's not just welded to the axle with a tab, but actually like the tab all the way around.
Yeah.
So it fully encompasses it with a nice heavy gauge D-ring on there. So as far as like trailering it, getting it mounted up, you just slap it on the D-ring, slap it on the trailer, click, 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 done.
I'd be down with that.
I thought it was super cool. When I saw him do it, I was like, why the fuck don't more people do that? And he's like, well, a lot of people don't like doing it because, ting, 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 you're rolling around. Like, if it's an off-road rig, who gives a shit?
Yeah. I used to use chains.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we used to use. Like back in the day when we had the race truck, and I would, because we would go down to Salt Lake City, we go down to, Bully Dog in southern Idaho. Fucking, I was borrowing a trailer and borrowing fucking chains and using like the what are those fuckers called?
The binders.
The binders, just binders. Yeah.
Yeah, but the trailer's nothing special. I mean, it's a Fox.
You could totally use those D rings, dude. They're not going.
I know. It's just
my trailer. I know it's only like a 14-foot trailer. It's only got 4 tie down points on it, and the tie down points are like, I don't even know how to explain it. They're like 1/4-inch like round bar that's like just welded to the side of the trailer. And every time you strap something down, you're like, that's gonna break.
You can see it move a little bit, like
that's gonna break. that's not gonna last. Well, fuck it.
Yeah, I know I'm supposed to say that's not going anywhere, but that might be going somewhere.
I got insurance.
As far as a hitch, nothing fancy right now. I just got something to do the job. Eventually, I'll probably go to like a way safe or something like that. But yeah, it's practicality for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, like even with hitch stuff, like you can totally, like there's nothing wrong with doing like a simple hitch.
Yeah.
As long as you know how to load the trailer. It's the people that don't know how to load the trailer that need a weight safe to know, like, okay, I've got tongue weight on this trailer versus like, I could load something up and just look at the trailer and be like, yeah, that's not going to work.
Like, that was a huge thing on the when we put that way safe video on our TikTok.
Yeah.
The comments and on YouTube and like that comments, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. You have a hitch that weighs your tongue weight, blah, blah, blah. I've been loading trailers so you could look at a hitch and see if you got too much tongue weight, blah, blah, blah.
Not everybody has that experience though.
Exactly. And guess who's on the road next to you? The guy without experience with an improperly loaded trailer. Yeah. And if he wrecks and he's right next to you, guess who he's taking out?
Yep.
You.
Yeah.
So,
I'd rather him have a way safe, and so he knows.
Yeah. Like, and there, honestly, there was even some guys on the polar opposite that were like, I've been towing all my life, and I gotta tell you, I see so many people with improperly loaded trailers. If they had this, they would be ahead of the game.
Oh yeah, it's scary seeing some people out there towing shit. You're just like, if I see them on the road, like, I'm like, I need to get past this guy. Like, I need
to not be here.
Like, I do not want to be beside this guy. I need to get fucking past this guy because who knows when that thing's going to start fucking whipping behind him.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm right in his fucking crosshairs. Like, yeah.
And another thing too is like, my wife doesn't know a damn thing about towing. So if something happens to me, and she needs to know like how to do something, at least it's easier to explain. This is where this needs to be.
Yeah.
When you load this up.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great way to look at it too. I mean, always contingency stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same way like with all the recovery stuff I have in my wife's car. Like, you don't need to know how to use this, but if you get in a situation and you need to be pulled out, you need to know it's here. And there's a cubby underneath your rear carpet. It says recovery gear. If you see a guy or something like, hey, you need help? If he doesn't have anything, tell him to look back here. Literally has every fucking thing. I have a toe strap, I have shackles, I have gloves, I have a headlamp, I have everything. If you just have someone there who's willing to do it, they'll be able to get you out.
Yeah.
But I like the thinking there.
Yeah. As far, I think somebody wanted to know like tools that I carry in the truck.
Yeah, totally.
During the week, I don't throw anything in. Like if I'm like traveling here, like within the city, I don't throw anything in. just because I don't want them stolen.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing long trips, I have a little. You guys saw it when we went out for Boys Weekend.
Yeah.
But I have like a little Blue Point.
The same one we all have. I swear that everyone I've met in Southern California that's from Southern California that was wrenching on cars.
Yeah.
We all have that same fucking kit.
Yeah.
It's convenient.
I know it's nationwide, but for some reason, everybody that I've ever met that was wrenching in the early 2000s in Southern California, those Snap-on guys, they all sold us on that 3/8-inch set and the 1/4-inch set.
Yeah.
And that blue and gray, injection molded thing. We all have the same fucking one.
Yep.
It's practical. It's easy. It doesn't take up a lot of space.
I still use it all the time. It's great.
Hell yeah.
The 1/4-inch set is so good.
Except I don't like the ratchet in it. Back in the day, I bought a Matco ratchet, 1/4-inch ratchet with very, very fine teeth.
Yes.
Yeah. Those things are... That's the best thing on a 1/4-inch ratchet there.
Fine tooth.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the 4Runner. I know you guys may have heard it mentioned before, but we're going to go in detail on it right now. So give me the details on the 4Runner. What is it? All that kind of shit.
It's just a 93 4Runner that's built.
That's exactly what they don't want. They want details, Cory. So we've got the year. We've got the fact that it's a 4Runner, not a 3, not a 5. It's a 4Runner.
Fair.
It ain't 3 walking. It's 4 running. 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Great start. Okay,
yes.
Great start. Yes. Okay.
4-wheel.
Yeah. Motor.
What trim package?
I don't know.
Stripped.
So it's got the 22 RE. It's got electric fan hooked up. Rear disc brake conversion because that's important. Fucking Toyota. No parking brake because we have the rear disc conversion. That's important.
Yeah. It's a manual, so you don't gotta worry about it.
Yeah, to the specs. It is solid axle swapped. The solid axle swap was done before I bought it. However, Jesse in sales, he is actually one of the dudes that worked on it to do the install. So it's got like it's just a 4Runner. I mean, it's got the high clearance steering, twin cases. Jesse, so
what kind of lift kit you got, bro?
It's actually just the trail gear leaves up front. And I guess you can do like Chevy springs in the rear or something like that.
Yeah, the 53-inch Chevy springs.
Yeah, the 53s. All that was done before I got it, so I'm not sure like the specs as far as that is concerned. So when I did get it, it had 410s when I originally got it. It was on 35s with chamber bead locks. Love those fucking bead locks. So I was like, well, I'm probably going to use it to crawl. So let's go 529s.
Hell yeah.
It is a manual.
Yeah.
So, and when I got it, I ordered 529s. I ordered Spartan lockers for front and rear. I am not a huge fan of selectable lockers because it's just one more thing that'll fail.
Spartans!
Yeah. Can you do that again?
No.
Yeah, so I just want something where it'll work when I need it to work. And I've been on a trail multiple times with people with like ARBs where they would just fail when they needed it most. So nothing against ARB. It's probably more on the install because, yeah, people like to cheap out. But I just wanted something I knew would work every time. So
yeah.
I just went with that.
Well, it's a dedicated rig too. It's not like you're trying to also make this work on the street where it needs to have some road manners. Like it's street legal. It can drive on the street. But
well, it's not really street legal, but
what's not street legal about it?
You're not supposed to have bead locks on the streets.
Oh, fuck that.
The actual seatbelts are no longer in it, and for some reason, fucking 5-point harnesses aren't safe on the road.
My daily had bead locks on it.
Yeah. Half the trucks here have bead locks. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. It's just stupid shit that like a cop on a bad day would give you a shitty ticket for.
100%.
So we did a 4x Inno cage, 4x4 Innovations cage, except we had to modify that because, as we all know, I'm kind of a big guy.
You're a tall dude.
Yeah. 6'5". That's, pretty big dude. Someone that size shouldn't be in a Toyota.
You give really good hugs.
Yes. Just
no homo.
Yeah. So Jesse did a killer job modifying that cage to push the B pillar and the C pillar back far enough to where I can put the seat all the way back and not touch the pedals.
That's nice.
That is fucking
It's
convenient.
built towards you. Like that's cool.
But it's also built to the point where, say, some dude who's 5'3"
Right.
gets
he
in
can
there,
still,
he can still move that seat up. And
I guess I got the legs of a person who's 5'3".
Yeah.
I made it work. Like literally, when I got into driving in Boys Weekend, it was set up and it was back for you. I literally could not touch I couldn't even like pretend. Like usually if the seat's far back, you can kind of lean forward and like grab the wheel and use the wheel. I couldn't even have my ass on the seat and hit the pedals to like hold the wheel at the same time. I was like Dad, Dad, stop.
I need a wood block. Can we put a wood block on the pedals?
yeah, so that's really nice. The only downfall to it is nobody's getting in the backseat area. So.
No, that ain't happening.
Fuck them.
It would have to be a toddler, but there ain't a seat for him. So
Yeah.
Fuck them.
yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much the 4Runner. It's a typical 4Runner, like a typical built 4Runner. As far as like future upgrades, it's pretty much where I want it. The only thing I would probably change out is putting a 4.7 crawl box in the back instead of the 2.2 that's in it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So just to gear it even lower.
That's even lower, huh?
Golly, man. I don't think you need to.
I honestly
Fuck
don't. I don't think you need to gear it lower either.
Dude, that thing is.
We were almost going straight up.
Yeah,
I know.
With no foot on the clutch.
And here's
I
the
don't
thing.
think you need to gear it
Especially
more.
around here.
I know.
Like it's kind of nice to have those taller gears so you can like actually cruise a road.
It's still cruise. It's just the final box.
No, I know, but like
you can still go 2-wheel drive.
right. But if you're like you
ratio.
just crawled something and like okay, everybody's like leaving or whatever, like you need to like just go. I mean, I understand it's just like a pedal thing, or not a pedal, but a
No, you just slap the stick out.
Just go fucking high.
Yeah, just go high.
I don't know. That thing is fucking already low as shit.
I know,
like
and
so.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
it's
Yeah.
like, and sometimes you do need a little bit of some wheel speed for some of the obstacles, like
Yeah.
especially around here. I mean, there's mud. There's where you kind of need a little wheel speed.
See, that's the thing though. I'm not a fan of mud. I'm not a fan of like
I know, but if you're wheeling up here, you're gonna run into that.
fuck
Just-
that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, think about like Boys Weekend. We still ran into a decent amount of snow.
Yeah.
And I know that that's not necessarily something where like that would be a weekend where you and your wife would normally go out.
Yeah.
But you might go out 2 weekends from then, and there would still be snow and mud.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Dude, that thing
I
is
love-
so low already.
Yeah,
like,
I love me some mechanical advantage, and the fact that it's a 4-cylinder, I get that. I would say personally, obviously it's your build, so you do whatever the fuck you want.
I am.
Get the engine cooling more in spec. So because it overheated, did it overheat because the
It
radiator
overheated because
That fan
it's
wire.
the electrical
Oh, the
fan
fan
and
cut
the
out?
ground came off. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember? When we fixed that
I
because
forgot
that
about
wire.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't. That's why it overheated.
Yeah, it wasn't mechanical failure. It was just fucking
That wire.
everything rattled loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say other than that, I mean, to be honest, I had not a ton of seat time in that thing, but I did drive it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed my time in it. And I would probably just work on some of the finer things to make it just a bit more fun and comfortable.
Yeah.
Figure out some, better lighting situation, whatever communication you're going to have in there.
Yeah.
Figure out some fucking cup holders. Man, come on, cup holders.
Okay.
Maybe a padded bar for Chris.
Yeah. I've told this to you before. And I still think it would be really cool since you're not like using it as like a competition rig.
I think I
right?
know where you're going.
I would love to see that thing just like kind of dialed in, like as far as like interior wise, like stereo, like have some amenities, maybe like I can't remember about the headliner, but like door panel, like just kind of like I picture that thing. And again, this is my opinion. You do whatever you want, but like since you're not gonna competition crawl this thing and beat the fuck out of it, like to make it like kind of like a little fancy. You know what I'm saying? Like a kind of a built.
You know what I
like-
would love to see? Have a working AC in it. I know half the, you can basically see the floor sometimes out of the bed, but like, so in the summertime, if you wanted to, you could at least have cold air blowing out the, with the windows cracked or something like that.
Well, I'm talking like maybe do like a rubber floor in it, and have like a dedicated area where like tools can go and like a cooler hold down, and like some cool stuff in the back. That's just like,
I do eventually have plans for that.
Like that's would be so sick.
Keith had that set up on his side by side.
Oh, that Milwaukee,
that pack out kit,
badass. It's great as far as modular being in and out real easy.
Yeah, that's an eventual plan down the road.
But like to just open the door on it and see it like almost like a resto mod, but like 4-wheeler. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Saying like I don't know. I just, if you're not gonna beat the shit out of it, like I think it'd be so cool to like make that thing just like super clean.
Yeah,
and just like fully, whether it be all new interior. Like I know you got like different seats in it and whatnot, but like just dial it in so it's like you pop the door on that thing and people are like, damn, dude, that's a really nice fucking 4Runner. Yeah, it's a really nice 4Runner as it is. Honestly, I thought before I even saw it, I thought the body was way worse than what it was. Like when I saw it, I was like, damn, Cory, that's a nice fucking 4Runner.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, bro. Yeah. I thought this was supposed to be like some competition rock crawler thing. I was expecting the fucking roof caved in, fucking panels caved in, fenders caved in. Like that's what I had in my head before I saw it. Then I saw it and I'm like, holy shit, bro. Like that thing's sweet.
Yeah, I think if it had like a good like dig in it, it would be a pretty solid like competition crawler.
Yeah.
Especially if that 4.7 box got put in.
Yeah.
But up here, I don't think it's necessary.
We ain't Moab.
Yeah.
I mean, there's cool places where you can crawl on some shit, but you're mostly running into some wet shit. You're running into some snow. You're running into,
little ravines
river crossings, like stuff like that.
I've got a pointless modification that could be fun. Because it is a manual. I think that you should put a remote start in it so that you can leave it in gear and low and have it pointed somewhere or pointed at you and you'd be far away. And you can say, hey, come here.
Like a Tesla.
And have it start and just start crawling to
you. Like a Tesla.
Yeah. But that means you also have to have an auto shut off too.
I think you just hit the button twice, it shuts off.
Yeah. So it'll come over to you.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Or so like once you have it all unstrapped from the trailer, have a steering wheel lock for it. Just fucking remote start it and Lolo so it creeps itself off the trailer. Like that's good, stay there. Beep beep, turn it off. Like totally pointless, totally unneeded, but when you're unloading at the campsite and everybody's always cracking beers, everybody be like, that's the fucking best thing ever.
Optimus Prime.
Give it a little. You definitely need a bullhorn on it. Yeah. Get the fuck out of the way.
No, I think we could like dial in the dash where you have like maybe like a rugged radio in there and some like a nice stereo, like that kind of shit. Like that.
I do eventually want to go.
I love switches too. Like put a bunch of switches in. I don't even care if they do anything. Just put switches in.
I do eventually want to redo the dash because the dash is pretty beat.
Yeah.
And just throwing gauges in that are necessary,
Yeah.
And I'm thinking thoughts are like go all metal dash and just like
those
fab
are cool.
one up.
Yeah.
The issue is in the heat, I don't want that shit to just like fucking glare off and beam me in the eye and shit like that. So
and that gets a lot hotter than a stock dash would.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm still toying with the idea. That's why I haven't done anything dash-wise. And dashes suck to take apart. So.
Yeah, they do.
And obviously there's the other part here is it's a working, running.
Right.
Project.
Point and shoot fucking project.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I mean, go have fun. Go use it.
Right.
Yeah. Go get out there.
I do think somebody wanted to know the winch that was on it. It's just Harbor Freight Badlands 12K. Could have went 9K. Don't give a shit.
There's nothing wrong with those winches. I've seen so many videos praising those winches.
For $200, I'll take that fucking winch
100% every time.
Was it Casey Liddell? You know Casey Liddell?
No.
So he kind of does the same kind of stuff like Matt's off-road recovery, but in a different area. And he did and we sell Warn winch. We have had no problem. We have had no problems with a Warn winch. He apparently has had a ton of problems with a Warn winch. Yeah. And he literally did a video kind of like bashing Warn. and putting a Badlands winch on there. And like in my mindset, like a winch is like something you want to, you know, obviously make sure you got something high quality on there.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started watching like these videos of guys that like literally use winches like every day of their life.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of people using fucking Badlands winches out there.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to give
Like
you a
a
pro tip. If you're wanting a winch, wait until New Year's.
Yeah.
Harbor Freight sends out like a 50% off coupon on one item. And if the item is on sale, they'll still give it to you at 50% off.
Fucking A. Like,
That's how I got that winch
I'm
for $200.
probably going to put a Badlands winch on my side by side.
Yeah.
Sorry, Warren, but
I would always.
you didn't hook me up.
Yeah. Well, and with using that winch too, always go bigger than you think.
Yeah.
And the reason I mentioned that is like, could you, you know, I know we just talked about bashing, you know, a Badlands against a War and all that kind of stuff. But
we didn't. Case
Yeah.
Liddell did.
Like if it's between getting like a Badlands 9K and a 12K, even though you really only need like a 6.5K or something like that, get the 12K.
Yeah.
Like whatever can physically fit, get that. Do you need a 12K in your side by side? Obviously
No.
not. But you're
No.
not going to get like the 2,000 pound one or something like that. You can get the one that's
No,
like,
I'll get like a
six.
six.
Or
Yeah.
something like that on
Yeah.
there. That's like overdoing it, so that way you're not overworking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the big things for people using winches too. Obviously, you start getting these full size rigs that have like a Warren 16.5 Ti on there, something like that. That's just about the biggest, baddest winch you can get. But the thing is, a winch is only going to do so much when you have a 12,000 pound vehicle on a fucking slope that
Right.
has drag against it or something like that. With
Yeah.
you know, with a big tent on there and all sort of kind of shit in 40s that are locked up or
Right.
something like that. So
Right.
you're always going to be fighting kind of a losing battle at that point. But that being said, the three of us, especially me, because I don't fucking need a winch.
Yeah.
I have one actually on the green truck. I
Yeah.
keep
Was it a
forgetting I have a
Smitty
winch. I have a mile marker.
Mile marker.
Yeah, I need to buy a rebuild kit for it because I want to, when I pull the bumper off to repaint it
Yeah.
and clean it off and everything, I want to pull the winch out and take it apart, clean it, grease it, get the electrical connections all done. I think I need a remote for it too. But
there's
I
plenty
love
of
the
them.
idea of having a truck that actually has a working winch on. I'm very excited to get that working.
Yeah,
again.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the main thing there is like having a winch that is like, what is that, 1.5 your needs or 2 times your needs or something like that. That way you're not working it into the ground.
Yeah.
And I mean, you
For
can you can use mechanical advantage to
Yeah.
Yeah.
your advantage
And
too, but
Let's be 100% honest here. Most people,
don't understand that.
well, no, well, I was going to say most people, average people probably run into one instance, maybe a year, that they could use a winch.
Yeah.
And I would say in 98% of those cases, a tow rope would do just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, let's be honest here. Like, I've been side by siding for what, 3 years now. There's not one single time I needed a winch. I just kind of wanted it because it's like, it's cool to have. Like, it's just a cool factor thing. Do I need one? No,
Probably
no.
not.
Yeah.
Nah.
First of all, buy a fucking Honda and don't get fucking stuck. That's first thing.
Fact. Facts.
I will say I still have steel cable on it. I would eventually like to swap that out for synthetic,
Sure.
just for safety reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if anybody here has seen a steel cable snap, but
Yeah, it ain't nice.
no,
Yeah.
that's
Well, and the weight. It's nice to get that weight off the front bumper.
Yeah,
I mean, not that it's like
exactly.
a huge difference, but I mean, it's probably what, like a 30, 40, 50 pound difference?
probably
Something like that, yeah.
Or if those little wires start to fray up,
Yeah.
and you're like running your hand
Oh,
down
and it
there.
cuts your, it's the fucking
Oh,
worst.
just straight
I hate
plunges
that.
like a fucking needle right into your hand.
And once it happens, you're like,
And it's like, it's the smallest little thing, but it's like, fuck, that really hurts.
yeah.
Like, that's fucking in there. Like, ow.
The one that used to always get me is when I was working in a shop and they have the oil coming from the guns.
Oh, yeah.
And you go to retract the hose and you try and slow
You
it down
just
so it does
slide-
it.
yeah.
And it just gets your hand like, God.
Yeah.
Well, those are even
Damn!
worse because those those little strands are even smaller.
Yeah.
And so, like, you don't even feel it at first. And then, you're like, all of a sudden, your finger starts to hurt. And you're like, what the fuck happened? And
And
you look at
it looks like you tried to jack off a fucking porcupine.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Ow!
Yeah. Yeah.
So weird
s-
analogy. Sorry, guys.
As far as the seats, Cooper had a set hanging out here. PRPs. I don't know which ones they are.
They were comfortable. I liked them.
They're fucking great.
Yeah.
And big boy approved.
They're big boy approved, which means they were super comfortable for me.
Yeah.
I still felt like the bolsters were
Yep.
holding me in, but at the same time, I have sat in some seats where they have like aggressive bolsters, and I'm like,
I hate them.
Like getting in and out of this thing is a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's already kind of hard to get into that thing. Even for me, I can't imagine for you. Like, no offense, but like, it's a process.
It is, yeah.
You know, with the cage and everything right there.
Yep.
So, I mean, and I don't know if you've ever been off-roading a lot, but like a lot of times you're getting in and out of this thing a lot.
Yeah.
Back to back to back to back to back to back to back. So having something that's comfortable in and out.
Yeah.
Maybe put some more grab handles on it.
That's in the works.
Yeah.
One on the center bar.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking one of the center bar or one near the shifters, because I always find myself wanting to grab like the passenger side of the driver's seat bolster to lift myself in.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was something where like the e-brake was a little bit higher or something like that, like welded in, I could like grab and like kind of pull myself in.
Yeah, for me the middle bar is where I pull myself
I could see
in.
that, yeah. I mean, well, you're like a fucking foot taller than me. So.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, I think as far as the 4Runner, that's really the specs on it. Nothing crazy. I think they have Nitto Terra grapplers on them. So.
Yeah.
It does work for a 4Runner on 35s. I can tell you that much.
I just
and
love
leaf sprung front and rear.
Yeah, I just love that we can put it in low first and fucking thing will walk up anything.
Oh yeah.
Like when you guys were looking at like that little sewer thing, and I went down to like that little the sand piles and stuff. And
Yeah.
I never had my throttle on. Like
Yeah.
I never had my foot on the throttle. I was just like, let's see if this can actually make it up some of these.
Yeah.
No, it was really cool. I've said it before. I thoroughly enjoy the fact that you let me drive that. That was a lot of fun. Maybe.
Oh, did I tell you
Cool.
guys? I got body damage on the side by side
What?
from Boys Weekend. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When? From when I was driving?
No.
Oh.
I think it's when we went in that hole.
Oh, that hole was fucking brutal
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, that was a brutal little hole, but it's not bad.
Mhm.
I just have to take off the rear passenger side full like rear fender
Mhm.
because it like has this little tab that has like a notch, right? And I can't pull it back. Like it grabbed on something and pulled back
Mhm.
and just popped out.
Hmm.
But you can't put it back in because it's already past the slot and you can't pull it back to get the slot back in. So I have to unbolt the entire fender to get that. Yeah, it sucks. I just left it. You can barely, I didn't notice. Well, obviously I didn't notice it right away. I noticed it after I started cleaning it, like after another trip. I was like, cause I know it didn't happen during the trip I did after that.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh shit, like that's not right. But yeah, nothing's broke. It just popped out, which Honda baby.
Oh, baby. Okay.
I think somebody wanted specs on
the RC car.
The RC car.
Yeah, that was the last thing. What you got going on there?
Nothing special again.
Well, that's
nothing
gonna
special.
be the quote for
Yeah.
Cory Henderson. Nothing special.
Nothing special.
Is in fact special.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I was into RC cars like 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And nobody I knew that was like into like RC crawling. And it just got to the point where it was like just me doing it, and
You're living.
I had, well, yeah, essentially. So I ended up selling it, and I had probably about $3,000 invested into an RC car.
Christ.
Yeah. Between like all the electronics and everything. Yeah, it was a really nice, really well set up car, but I just couldn't go out and enjoy it with anybody because everybody, I guess, had lives or something.
Yes.
I'm just a loser playing with an RC car.
Yeah.
So,
Well, now you got a full size one. That's kind of cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had one then too.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, I had the XJ, so which was a pretty rad one too. That was on 488s, 35s, fucking locked front and rear caged. So that's a different thing though. That thing's long gone.
Yeah.
So it's axial Capra.
No idea.
Yeah.
Never
it's
heard of
fine.
it.
How got about that?
Capra is Spanish for goat, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah. So what I've done to it, I have.
Can you pull up a picture of what this thing is? I need a visualization.
Yeah. Give me a minute. Let me find it.
Axio Capra.
Oh shit. Okay.
So, what
like a
I've
little
done to
buggy.
it. Yeah, exactly. It's just a little buggy.
Yeah, that's cool. You see it? Want to see it? Have you seen
He
it?
saw it in person the other day. So added aluminum bead locks up front. Well, aluminum bead locks all the way around. Reason for it is just to keep the weight.
I don't know why this makes
Why the fuck is this funny?
Because it's just like RC car. I got bead locks. Like,
Well, they come stock with bead locks, but they're plastic.
Gotcha.
So to keep center of gravity low, you want the weight low.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think that aluminum wheels make that difference, but you're dealing in grams and ounces, man.
I know.
Yeah.
It's. Listen, I've looked into
crazy.
RC. I've looked into RC cars, and it's wild. The technology. The last RC car I'm pretty sure I had was this one that was like had it basically looked like an El Camino, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then one side was red, and I believe the other side was blue, and it was two bodies together, right? So you could flip the thing over, and you're still upright,
Okay.
right? Because
I know which one you're talking about.
you know which one I'm talking about. You can whip that thing around, and no matter how it landed, like you're upright.
Yeah.
It was like just a cheap little RC car. Like it was when I was a little kid. So it's just hilarious now seeing like sometimes I'll come across like ring and pinions and like axle shafts and lockers and like, what the
like
fuck?
Full tie rod and drag link
I
setups.
know.
And everything.
It's fucking wild.
This has fucking portals.
Portals. See, like what the fuck?
So as far as what's done to it now, I've added weights up front. I have vented my tires. I've cut the foams in the tires so that it conforms to the rocks better. It's essentially equivalent to airing down.
Right. Usually, yeah.
And then as far as the transfer case motor, ESC combo, I have a Vivitron billet aluminum transmission case with a Holmes Hobbies 16-turn Sportmaster. The ESC is a Hobby Wing 1080, which is probably Greek to all of you guys.
I'm trying to track. Yeah. I'm trying so hard. You said a whole bunch of words, and I know the words, but all together, they make no fucking one bit of sense, man.
I got bent on something. Yes.
I heard 1080. I'm like, oh, tight.
I'm swapping the shocks out. Those come in Friday. I'm doing 90 millimeter shocks with springs inside, and then 30 weight oil up front, 50 weight oil in the rear.
Like how much? Like a fucking drop? Like
Actually, it takes quite a bit.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's so fucking
And
crazy.
then
The shocks take oil?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have 27% overdrive in the front portals to help the front wheel spin a little bit faster, crawl over obstacles. It is also 4-wheel steer.
That's fucking crazy, man.
That's cool as shit.
It's super cool, but it's just so crazy seeing how far RC cars have gone.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Back when I started, so this came pretty well built out of the box. To get this car back when I originally started doing RC cars, you had to figure all this shit out on your own. Now it's just back when forums were a thing and you could ask people questions and shit like that. And
yeah.
now it's forums are dead and
just does the I know you already have an off-road vehicle that you can drive.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think people get their off-roading fix with RC cars?
No.
To the same satisfaction of actually owning something you drive?
No.
No.
I think it's a different rush.
It's a rush?
It can be if you do it in a competition setting.
Wow. See, me with an RC car, every time an RC car was basically as fast as you could go. There's no strategy. There's no nothing. It's just I'm going to hit that fucking rock as hard as I fucking can. We're going to see if it survives. There's no... there's I've seen the videos of people there's actual competitions and shit. Mm-hmm. They have little mini logs and shit that they're it's just
dude, people use different tire compounds for different styles of rocks and everything.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's just so wild to me.
Yeah, that's the RC car. The only other thing I'll probably do to it is throw a dig in it.
Oh, so you could just have like brakes on everything.
Tighter turns.
Yeah, or put a brake on on like a rear tire or something.
Yeah, and then as far as like the Hobby Wing 1080 ESC, that thing's rad.
Those are rad.
There goes Tyler.
Oh.
The ESC is real popular, but have you seen the DESC?
Yeah.
That thing is, when that comes out, that's going to change the whole game up for the swing arm.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen the DIC?
No.
Which that's me. The dick. So is this like a spoiler?
It's so essentially it's called the electronic speed controller.
Oh.
This
So not a spoiler.
No. This comes with a little card that essentially lets you tune the car to run the way you want it to. So it'd be similar to putting like a fucking Edge Evolution on a fucking truck.
That's tight.
It's cool.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
You know, my brother's into RC cars a little bit, and last time we were down there visiting, he brought some of them out.
Yeah.
And they're not to that depth by any means, but they're smaller rock crawler type stuff.
I feel like your brother and I would get along very well.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Fucking Glassjaw fan and
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was messing around with it. I could see why people like it.
Mhm.
You know, like
Okay, I could like it. Okay, this is just me. You guys know me. I'm not trying to be a dick.
yeah.
Okay, I would almost like only want to play with that like if I knew nobody was around, like that could see me. Like I would.
So here's
I'd
the cool
feel kind
thing
of
about
embarrassed.
it, though. Here's the cool thing about it though, is like it's literally you tinkering on a truck, only in a smaller scale.
I know.
And it's cool, like, because the way I've been building this, like,
Listen, Peyton killed it for me. Okay, he's a fucking basically a child, and he fucking busted out like 6 RC cars, and he's just like whipping around fucking our camp. And I was like, dude, I will kick the fuck out of one of those. I will punt that to fucking Colville.
This is drinking time. Shut up.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to drink himself into a stupor. So yeah, it worked out.
I like building things. That's a little easier for me to just like.
Oh, for sure. No, I think it's cool, like to get like your. First of all, I think it's really cool that you could like the amount of parts that are available and like shocks and like all this cool shit. Like, I think that's cool because it also for someone that doesn't know a lot about like off-road shit, like what a great way to introduce yourself to off-road shit.
Yeah. To gearing.
Dude,
to gearing, to fucking steering, to
tire pressure,
lockers, like all this shit. Like it's cool.
And at the end of the day, too, like it teaches you how to pick lines.
Yeah.
So everything will translate over.
Yeah. I can kind of see that, kind of. I just feel like,
Oh, I'm going to put this tire in this valley. Hey, guess what? You ended up on your fucking lid. Okay, I won't do that in a big vehicle.
Yeah.
yeah.
The only thing for me, and this type of stuff is something I would love to eventually get into. For me, it's just a delegation of time and money.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I know that if I were to get into something like this, it's going to go one of two ways. Either I'm going to buy something off the shelf and be like, this is good enough for me. I don't want to do anything else to it. It satisfies my jollies. I do it once a month.
Yeah.
Whatever. Or I'm going to do it and I'm going to be like,
fuck yes.
I need more. I need more. And then I'm going to start pricing things out and I'm going to be like, I'm going to build a real truck that I can drive in.
Yeah.
Well, to me, honestly, the one thing as far as remote controlled vehicle that like I'm really interested in is a drone. I kind of want a drone.
Get a drone then. Fuck, man. They're not that much.
No, I know, but I don't.
I've got one.
Last time I had a drone, it wasn't a drone. Sorry, it was a mini helicopter.
Huh?
I literally flew that thing for. I got a solid probably 4 seconds in flying.
You
that
can't
thing.
compare helicopters to
Yeah, I was gonna
drones.
say
I
helicopters.
flew that bitch right into my fireplace.
RC helicopters are. They're not
They
cool,
are
man.
not the
Exploded
easiest to
every
fly.
blade off the thing, and I was like, "That was cool." It's like,
It's okay. You and like
Dude,
92% of the people that bought them did that. Don't worry.
It went up in the air. Dude, it went up in the air and just started spinning like super fast. I'm like, oh shit! Like, so save it, save it.
All I can think of is the Robin Big episode, where they bought out like all the helicopters and crashed every single one.
Yeah.
Of them.
We got enough. We're gonna learn. We didn't learn.
Dude, yeah, it was the funnest 5 seconds I ever had. Well, not ever, but it was a very fun 5 seconds. And then I was like, I looked up like new wings, and it was like $20 for wings. I was like, fuck that.
Trash.
This was a gift. I'll throw it away.
So yeah, I can tell you right now, Tyler, the experience of trying to fly an RC helicopter and a drone.
I know, totally
drastically
different.
different.
But that's the only thing I have to like. That's my only experience with the flying
Okay.
thing, and I was like, this. I don't know if I
The beautiful
should.
thing about drone is if you just like let go, it just stops.
Yeah.
It just stops in midair, and there's a button that has a home on it.
Yeah.
And you press home,
Yeah.
and then it gets as close to the controller as possible and just starts landing.
I run mine through my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would honestly like to get one. I think it'd be cool to like, especially like for camping and shit. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
what if I was like, going camping off somewhere like I didn't know, and be like, fuck, should we go up this road? Like, just deploy the drone. Let's see if there's a campsite up here. Like,
100%.
like that'd be dope
That would have saved you the walk on boys weekend.
for sure. For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now just imagine you were up there on the trail and you see this drone fly by, like,
Yeah.
the fuck is going? Nancy, put the kids in the house. Like,
Yeah.
They're fucking coming.
Yeah.
And then I think the last question somebody had was if I were to build my dream crawler, what was
Yes.
a dream truck?
Do that. I'm gonna turn the fridge on.
Dream crawler would probably just be a buggy. Nothing
Really?
special. No, I'm kidding.
Nothing special. Just a buggy, just a fully built tube chassis buggy.
I would probably, honestly, I love the design of Jesse's buggies.
Yeah.
So I'd probably have him build one for me. If it's on limited budget, the bitch is on portals. It's probably going to be on 42s. Probably just running like Fox air shocks for suspension.
Yeah.
And probably like a Behemoth or Atlas transfer case with a dig.
Hell yeah.
As far
cool.
as power plant, it's not really going to matter because it's going to be geared so low anyway.
Probably LS.
It'd probably be
Yeah.
LS.
Yeah.
Put LSA in there.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I mean,
It'll be fine.
LSA.
LSA, baby.
Mitch convinced me to supercharge it for some reason.
Yeah. Exactly. Put LSA in there. Be good. You'd
Yeah.
be good.
But yeah, power really wouldn't matter just with the gearing. I enjoy rock crawling. I'm not. Yeah, that's more what I'm into.
Yeah. I dig it.
Honestly, I know we're not. The question wasn't asked to me, but like, yours is. That's what I've always wanted. Something like that. The only thing is, I would have to make it backseat accessible.
Oh, I would definitely want a 4-seater.
Yeah, like that's the.
Oh, are you talking Toyota?
No, I'm just talking about like my dream off-roader is I've always had a thing for old 4Runners that are solid axled. That's like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I always have. Especially the hard thing is when you put the dream part into it, no budget.
Yeah.
So, but the other thing is I have to think about like, what am I going to do with it? I'm not going to the dunes up here. I'm not doing any of that kind of shit. It's basically what we did on Boys Weekend.
Dude, it sounds like you need a side-by-side. It's
Right.
basically a buggy
Yeah.
with
I do.
1,000 cc's.
I do a Talon with a
That you could
upgraded
rip.
cage and whatever
Like-
stage 3 tires you have.
Yeah, it like me. I know this was a question for you, not for us, but like even me, like trying to get into like doing like a full on like off road rig, like to me it just seems so absolutely pointless and so freaking expensive. Where you could just buy something already built that does the majority of what that buggy could do. Yeah, those buggies could do, especially on like 42s. Like you're crawling up some pretty nasty shit.
Yeah.
Like probably definitely better better than a side by side can do. But 98% of the time, you're having more fun at a side by side, guaranteed. Because you get speed
And power.
and you get the crawling. You can still crawl with them, like and you still go up some crazy ass shit. And the entry fee, and it's already built.
I know.
You just buy it and then you customize it. You put bigger tires on it if you want. You put fucking sound system in it. You put all this shit. Like to me, it's so hard to justify the cost of like building a full on buggy, like LS, fucking 42s, fucking transfer case, like all that shit.
I would
like,
never be able to afford
I mean,
to go
shit.
that far.
You're by the time you're done, you're almost $100,000 into it.
Oh,
you could have
yeah.
bought 4 side by sides. Like that portion of it, I have a hard time like getting really into and be like, yeah, I want one of those. Your 4Runner, I could get down with that.
Yeah.
Like that to me is like still a budget minded build
that scratches that itch.
Scratches that itch, could still do cool shit
Right.
for a relatively low price.
Yeah.
Like I think you probably have the same money in your 4Runner as I do in my side by side.
Fuck no.
No.
More?
Half.
Less. Yeah.
Boom.
I bought it with the solid axle swap for 7 with
Oh
B-locks.
fuck. Yeah.
My gut was that you were into it less than 11.
I thought for some reason I thought you bought it more than 10 for some reason.
11
I don't know.
would be high.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Especially again, if you're up here, like that's like the perfect fucking rig.
Yeah, well, we're
Like
talking dream rig, though.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
We're talking dream rig. Now,
Sorry, realistically,
realistically, I'd have the same thing buggy with Behemoth and probably LS.
Yeah.
Only I'm not
Sorry,
going
now
to
I just
pay.
feel like a Debbie Downer. Like I just fucking Jesus Christ.
I'm not going to pay out of the ass
Yeah.
for portals. I'll just throw
Yeah.
tons under it and call it
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Because there's something about like what we did as far as crawling up that little ravine area in the 4Runner. Could we have done that in a side-by-side? Without throttle input, the same way we crawled up a super slow?
Well, you have to have
No.
throttle input.
Right. Couldn't have done that the same way we did it. Could we have done it, though? Yes. Here's the thing, though. There's something so fucking satisfying.
I know, just putting it in gear and just letting it go.
And it's not even just the crawling portion of it. It's doing that in a vehicle.
Sure.
Not a side-by-side. Can we do it on a dirt bike? Yeah. Can we do it in a quad? Yeah. Can we do it side-by-side? Yeah. But we did it in a vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
That satisfies an itch for me that a side-by-side won't ever do. But at the same time, I do fully comprehend and appreciate the simplicity of the sign a check, buy a Talon, rip. Like,
Yeah.
I fully appreciate that.
Right.
And as far as like time and effort goes, realistically, I'll probably get into a Talon before I have the time and money to get into like a built caged 4Runner.
Like if you were to like just buy that 4Runner as a stock 4Runner and have to do all that shit, straight, the straight axle swap, roll cage, all that shit.
I'd probably be 15 into it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and a lot of time and weekends into it. Or you walk in, sign a check, walk out.
Rip.
Yeah. The
See,
time,
the thing,
time
though,
from
is
money to rip is very short.
You don't get the satisfaction of the build either, though.
That's true. I find satisfaction in that. And again, I'm going to reiterate, I totally appreciate and understand the fact that sign, check, rip.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to seem like that kind of person that's like, I buy it, don't build it. Like I respect that. When it comes to off-road vehicles, like off-road shit, especially like up here in like the places that you can go, like, again, to me, a side-by-side made more of a...
I agree. Up
if
here,
you
it
camp
makes
and
more
we have
sense.
a camper, we have all this like stuff, like... now I just seem like an asshole, and I'm trying to talk my way out of this asshole.
No, because I
And I'm just
absolutely
getting
agree.
Yeah.
So,
no,
I
you're
don't. I
good.
know, but I've always been that guy that's just like, why wouldn't you build that? Instead of like you just bought it. Like I've been that guy, and I don't want. And I feel like I seem like that guy right now, and I'm not trying to be that guy right now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I fully understand that, like, if I were to sit down and really analyze it, the time that I would spend working on a 4Runner to make it be able to take my family out and do stuff, it does not my time is more valuable saving up a little bit more money and buying a side-by-side and going out and ripping with my family. I fully acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Now there may come a point in my life where my son and I get to build a vehicle like that. That's different. That's now time spent with my son. That's a family project, or my daughter.
Yeah.
That's different. But as far as like me taking time away from my family in my garage by myself to try and build this, where I could have just waited an extra year saving
Yeah.
and bought a side-by-side and literally just ripped the living shit out of it.
Right. Yeah.
So-
I'm going to stop talking now.
Yeah.
I do agree with you, though. A side-by-side is probably a better option up here.
Mhm.
I'm thinking Dream Truck gives me fuck you money,
Right. If you had fuck you money, then
which means I'm probably spending time in Johnson Valley, Calico.
Yeah. But if you have fuck you
going to,
money,
like Roush Creek.
if you have fuck you money, you're probably not building it. You're probably just like, hey, build me this.
I disagree.
Would you build it?
I think so, yeah.
If you had fuck you money?
Yeah, I'm not working.
Exactly. And I probably have a pristine shop with like 2 lifts and 3, room for everything.
So now I just need to stop talking because
For me,
so you're telling me if you had fuck you money, you would spend the time ordering parts, building, fabricating, fucking doing all that work.
Maybe we have different definitions of fuck you money.
I'm talking. Well, fuck you money is
Fuck you money is
money
like,
no object.
money is no object,
not
and
a-
I have time to do whatever. Time. My obligation is to just wake up in the morning. That's the only thing I have to do.
right.
Anything else is unscripted.
For me, a lot of the fun is the build.
I just need to stop talking.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
I agree too. But if you have fuck you money, like I'm just gonna be like, hey shop, this is what I want. Get it done. I'm going to fucking Cabo and I'm gonna sit on a beach drinking a fucking Mai Tai, getting fucking jerked off by my wife.
I mean, there's no reason you can't just go to Cabo.
There's no reason you can't do both.
I know,
Once
but
you-
then I spent so much time like buying rigs and like creating a collection of like all the shit that I've ever wanted. Like I don't think even if like I had fuck you money, I don't think I would have time because I'd be like, oh, I found this rig. I need to go get it. I'm gonna go check it out.
No,
and
you
go
got
buy
fuck
it.
you money. You might as well just have it shipped to you. If
Oh,
you don't like it, just sell it.
No. I'm going there. I'm looking. I'm sitting in the seat. I'm looking around.
Well, that's
I will
fucking
sign
time
the
wasted.
check.
Yeah.
Why is it time wasted?
Why is
So-
building a rig time wasted then?
This opens up a whole other conversation.
God
I fully
damn
understand
it.
this episode's going long. We need to dissect this, okay, Tyler? We're going to get deep in the brain of Tyler.
Listen.
Okay? So you're saying...
We're talking fuck you money.
If you had fuck you money, which means you literally don't have to work,
Yeah,
you
don't
can
have
do
to work.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
You're worried about going there to look at it? Like, that's the part that you want to be there for. You're not worried about building it. You're like, I need to see this thing from... I would
Okay.
rather buy a
No,
truck
listen.
blind
No, I
and
know.
send a
No,
friend.
Stop. No, stop.
and then
no,
build it.
listen. I love. If I had fuck you money, like I am a classic muscle car guy.
Yeah.
To me, it would be super fucking fun to be like, I'm gonna go to Barrett Jackson. I'm gonna go check out some of these rigs. I'm gonna go to fucking Meekum. I'm gonna go to these places. If I find a cool muscle car that I want, like I want to be the guy to go and look at it and be like, because that
Like a muscle car project to build?
no, like I'm talking.
Okay, well, then we're talking about 2 separate things here. That's buying something as a hobby. Buying
I know,
something
but I'm
'cause-
saying you're saying you would have so much time that you would have time to just like build it. You know what I'm saying? Like in your garage, like every day you just wake up and start working on your rig.
If I wanted
If
to,
you
yes.
wanted to,
I
yeah.
have fuck you
What
money.
I am saying, if I had fuck you money, like I'm looking for like a fucking Jay Leno garage of vehicles that I've always fucking thought were cool, right? So I am traveling the country trying to compose my collection of vehicles. And like I want to have like that fucking Jay Leno garage of vehicles of all sorts of different things. Like so my time would be spending going and acquiring these things I've always wanted as far as vehicles. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Then, that probably only lasts about 6 months, but me finding stuff. But at the same, like, I wouldn't want to send someone out to like go buy this rig for me.
Okay.
Like to me, like going there, looking at it, like, yeah, this, this is what I want.
But then
This
you
is-
wouldn't want to build anything.
No, I would, but it wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be what I would spend all my time doing.
I'm not saying you to spend all your time.
You can still go to Cabo.
Gosh, guys,
You've got fuck you money.
listen.
How long do you think it takes to build one of these if you have nothing else to do?
Well, I don't know.
And also, the joy of building it is knowing
Sure, yes.
everything that could go wrong with it.
And the fact that you have fuck you money and you chose to build it. That's
Listen.
like a big middle finger to everyone that doesn't have fuck you money. Oh, that must be nice. I actually built it on my own. How much time do you have? That's another question.
Well, that's
Okay.
the whole point of having. But that's the whole point of having fuck you money. Even if someone makes fun of you, you just be like, "Fuck you. Here's $100. Fuck off. Don't talk to me. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you." Like, you know what I mean? Like that's fuck you money.
Yeah.
Like
I think if I had fuck you money and I had complete control of my time and I had
I would tinker on my things.
I'd have a beautiful dialed shop to build what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
I'd have a goddamn.
Would you hire people to build?
If I didn't know what I was doing, I would hire someone to come work with me.
Okay.
And watch
I-
over to
I-
make sure I don't fuck something
I
up.
literally mean that when I say that. Like
Yeah.
I would.
Well, listen. Here's
I
the
would
thing.
find me a Jesse. I'd find a Dave, and I'd be like, "How much is your time
I'm getting
worth?
sweaty
No, you
because
don't have
I
to
feel
suck
like
my
this
dick."
conversation went into a bad place where I'm going to get bashed for saying this kind of things. But we're talking about fuck you money here. I would have a shop at my house, and I would hire probably 3 or 4 guys, and I would just tell them what to do.
No, that ain't me, dog.
Same.
Fine.
I have fuck you money.
Doesn't mean I wouldn't get my hands dirty and do something.
Yeah.
But there's far more fucking experienced people out there for like building rigs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to like, especially like fabricating stuff. Like, yeah, I went to school for chassis fab. And all that. This was years ago. Like, I would have to like get back into it, and like, there'd be a lot of practice. There'd probably be a lot of shitty welds before there was a good one.
Totally.
And again, yeah, fuck you money. You're telling me right now your wife wouldn't be like, "We're gonna go on a trip. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that." Like, are you gonna
Cool,
really
let's
have that
fucking
much
go.
time in the
Yeah,
fucking?
let's go. By the way, the week leading up to that,
I'm just a dick. I guess I'm
doing
just a
this.
piece of shit.
There's more than one person's timeline here. My kids have soccer games. I'm still gonna go to those. And that's the thing, when you have fuck you money, you can get hyper focused on something. Like, hey, I'm really into building this truck right now for the next 6 weeks.
Like, I'm gonna hire a double to go to my son's.
I'm
soccer
gonna
game.
do any of my free time needs to be, all of my obligations will be met. I'll still, we can still go to your sister's wedding. We can still go to the soccer games. We'll go to the parent teacher meetings. We do all that kind of stuff. But, my job right now, my job is going to be working on this to its completion. Yes, we're still going to go to Cabo. Yes, I'm going to take a week off so we can still go do that. But my choice, how I spend my time right now, I want to build this truck.
Hey,
You want to come help me?
no,
You don't?
I'll hire someone to come help you. If I fuck you money.
And then because I have fuck you money, I'll have my own barista bartender in there.
Yeah,
That's one
it's
person I will hire to have my own stuff.
Oh, this conversation.
And I'll name him
Yeah.
Jarvis
Nice.
for no other fucking reason.
Pay to get it legally fucking changed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jarvis, drink.
I would have, well,
That's all
God,
I'd say.
what movie is that? Fuck, what movie is that? Where it's like the super old guy that's always, he's like he's fucking like super shaky, and he's like, "Get back here," or like, "Go away," and like the guy just keeps on like, God, what movie is that? Fuck, he's like a butler, and he's like the guy is like fucking.
I'm gonna Google what we have so far from your description.
God damn it! What movie
All
is that? I just watched that.
Super
No,
shaky
Butler in movie.
In movie. Elvis.
No. God, what movie was that?
It's not 300.
All
300.
right, you guys
no.
ponder on that. I think another question was dream vehicle. Was it dream vehicle or dream rig?
I don't know, but we can go dream vehicle, and that can wrap this one up.
I'd be content with LJS.
Yeah. God damn, I love that truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for me, I would take LJS. And I know we're talking about dream rigs, but I'm also a realistic guy. I take LJS, and instead of being on 40-inch 15.5s, I put them on 13.5s because they're.
I got it.
What?
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Like the second one. Like, I would hire extremely old people.
If we're talking just dream vehicle, bad Continental.
A what?
Bagged Continental.
Oh, bagged. I thought you said a bat, like a different something
No,
else.
no.
I was like, what? What the fuck did you say?
No, I think that's good. Tyler's would be a Thunderbolt.
Yep, you got it. Yep. I'm gonna have to go
with a
probably-
radio delete.
Benz is
Yeah.
HHR.
No, his is a fucking Honda Element.
If it's the turbo,
I mean, if I got fucking money, I got an Element.
Yeah.
All right, let's fucking wrap this up. I'm
with
about
the
to
pop up on the top. Hell
piss
yeah,
here on the
fuck
floor.
yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Okay. All right, everybody. Corey, wrap this one up.
Well, there's a fucking intro into my life, you sons of bitches. Bye.
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 Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at dieselpowerproducts.com.